I'm not sure when it started, but I've always been a bit of a magnet for judgmental people. I'm the kind of person who is always striving to improve and better myself, and I think that's something that some people can't handle. They see me as a threat, or maybe they're just jealous of my drive and determination. Whatever the reason, I've had to learn to deal with judgmental people throughout my life. It's not easy, but I've learned to take their judgment with a grain of salt. I know that they're not judging me because they actually know me or care about me, they're just projecting their own insecurities onto me. So instead of taking it personally, I try to use it as motivation to keep pushing forward. Every time someone tells me I can't do something or that I'm not good enough, it just makes me want to prove them wrong even more. I'm not perfect, and I never will be, but that doesn't mean I should give up on myself or stop trying to improve. It all started when I was in elementary school. I remember being in the lunch line and having the kids behind me making fun of my clothes. I didn't understand why they were doing it, but it hurt nonetheless. From then on, I was always aware of how I was being judged by others. I would try to dress a certain way or act a certain way so that people would approve of me. But no matter what I did, there always seemed to be someone who was quick to point out my flaws and make me feel bad about myself. As I got older, I realized that not everyone is going to like me, and that's okay. What matters most is how I feel about myself. I am now more confident and secure in who I am, and I don't let the judgment of others get to me as much as it used to. Sure, there are still times when people say or do things that hurt my feelings, but I know that ultimately I am in control of how I react to those situations. Instead of getting angry or upset, I try to see the situation from their perspective and have empathy for them. So if you're ever feeling judged by others, just remember that you're not alone. We all face judgment at some point in our lives. And ultimately, it's up to you how you let it affect you. You can either let it bring you down or use it as motivation to become the best. Why do other people judge us? It's a question we've all asked ourselves at one point or another. Maybe someone has said something critical about our appearance, our intelligence, or our abilities. Or maybe we've been the ones doing the judging, criticizing others for their choices or behaviors. Judgment is a natural human tendency. We make judgments about everything and everyone we encounter, often without even realizing it. But why do we do it? There are a few different theories about why we judge others. One is that it's a way of protecting ourselves from harm. If we can identify the flaws in other people, we can avoid them ourselves. Another theory is that judgment makes us feel better about ourselves. When we focus on the faults of others, it makes us feel more positive about ourselves in comparison. Whatever the reason, judgment is something that we all engage in to some extent. And while it might not be the most positive trait, it's part of what makes us human. There are many reasons why people might judge others, such as insecurity, jealousy, or simply because they don't understand them. Whatever the reason may be, it's important to remember that everyone is different and should be treated with respect. What are the signs that you are being judged by people? When you're out in public, it's easy to feel like everyone is judging you. You might feel like you're being judged on your clothes, your hair, your body language, everything. But how can you tell if people are actually judging you? Here are some signs to look out for. 1. People avoid eye contact with you. If you notice that people tend to avoid making eye contact with you, it could be a sign that they're judging you. They might be feeling uncomfortable around you, or they might not want to engage with you. Either way, it's a sign that they're not entirely comfortable with you. 2. People whisper when they talk. If people start whispering when they talk around you, it's another sign that they're judging you. They might be saying negative things about you behind your back, or they might just be trying to keep their conversation private from you. Either way, it's not a good sign. 3. People cross their arms when they talk to you. Crossed arms are a classic body language cue that indicates someone is feeling closed off or defensive. If people cross their arms when they talk to you, it could be a sign that they're judging you and feeling uncomfortable around you. 4. People laugh at your expense. People might laugh at your expense if they think you're funny looking, if they think you said something stupid. 5. They make assumptions about you without getting to know you. 6. They judge you based on your appearance or the way you dress. 7. They make snap judgments about your character without giving you a chance to prove yourself. 8. They compare you to other people and find you lacking in comparison. 9. They try to control your behavior or tell you what to do. 10. They offer unsolicited advice or criticism. 11. They gossip about you behind your back. How can you protect yourself from judgmental people? It's not easy to protect yourself from judgmental people. There will always be people in this world who judge others harshly and unfairly. It's just a fact of life. But that doesn't mean you have to let their judgmental words and actions get to you. Here are some ways you can protect yourself from judgmental people. 1. Don't take it personally. Just because someone is being judgmental towards you, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you as a person. They're just projecting their own insecurities and issues onto you. So don't take their judgment to heart. 2. Rise above it. Show them that their opinion of you doesn't matter by living your life the way you want to live it. Be happy, be successful, be you, regardless of what anyone else thinks or says about you. 3. Respond with kindness. This one can be tough, but try to respond to judgmental comments and actions with kindness instead of anger or hatred. It's the best way to diffusing a tense situation, and it might just make the other person rethink their behavior towards you. 4. Distance yourself if necessary. If there's someone in your life who is constantly judging you, maybe it's time to distance yourself from them, at least for a while. Spend less time around them, or even cut ties completely if that's what feels best for you. Your mental and emotional well-being is more important than trying to please someone who clearly doesn't appreciate you. In conclusion, one of the best ways to protect yourself from judgmental people is to be confident in who you are. If you are comfortable with yourself, then it won't matter what other people think of you. It's also important to remember that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. You don't need everyone's approval to be happy. Just focus on those who do support and accept you for who you are. Lastly, don't let the negative words of others get to you. Don't let them bring you down or make you question yourself. Just brush it off and keep being the amazing person that you are. Thank you.